Before we just jump in and do some examples and do some test type questions, let's just quickly get a bigger picture, a little bit of an overview of everything that is included in this analytical geometry and all the skills that we need to make sure that we have. There is a copy of this concept map available, and I will put a link in the description. And then there's also a workbook. So every single question that we will be doing in this section are put together in a workbook, and I'll also put a link in the description. So then you can decide. That's just a suggestion. I think it's a good idea. Then you can print it, and as you watch the video, you can just maybe write and make your own workbook. Okay, so let's just quickly look at everything that's part of this analytical geometry section. So the skills that you need to have is you need to have some sort of a grid of the Cartesian plane, plotting your points, reading points of the Cartesian plane. Substitution is really important. We're going to deal with equations. You need to know your quad properties, quadrilateral properties, like for example, your rectangle. You need to know those properties, the theorem of Pythagoras, and then fractions. Okay, let's start on the left there. So the distance formula, we use the distance formula to calculate the length of lines. So, for example, we're going to look at 2 points. We're going to use those 2 points, plot it on the Cartesian plane, and we are going to find the length of that line segment. Then we use the midpoint formula to find the midpoint of a line segment. So again, we will have 2 points, and then we're going to find the point that's exactly in the middle. Gradients, this is such an important idea for this section. And we're going to look at parallel lines, perpendicular lines, and how do we use their gradients to know whether they are parallel or perpendicular. Then collinear points. When are points collinear? Do you know that already? And then how can we prove whether points are collinear or not? And then we're just going to do some application questions where we're going to look at some test and exam type questions. We're going to do 3 of those. Okay. Let's jump in.